Hi, how are you?
I'm good. What about you?
I'm doing pretty good. Thank you so much for joining me today in such short notice. Um,
Absolutely.
I'm excited to talk to you about your boudoir shoots, your everything. It just seems really interesting. It seems like something that I would really enjoy to partake in. So after this, I do want to talk to you about booking a session. Period.
Yes. Yes.
All right. Well, let me go back and do this intro. Welcome to the Luxe Conversation with Jacqueline Chyi. We have exclusive guest Toria Germain, and she will be here to talk to us about building your self confidence, self care, and some things that she does for her clients in order to help them embrace their self. Okay.
Okay.
So, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
I am Toria Germain. I am a wife, a mom of two little ones. They are 4 and 2. And I'm a boudoir photographer. I used to be an occupational therapist, but being in that field made me realize how expansive I could be, and the people that I really wanted to serve was women around my age and older, and helping them to have a fabulous, wonderful, fiery life. So that is what I do.
Okay, that is awesome. It's definitely something that a lot of people lack. It's just that like fire within them. So I like that your brand name is Ignite. I find that very, very just empowering, just in itself. To be able to say, I'm the founder of Ignite, a luxury boudoir studio. And so where are you located?
I'm in Westchester, Ohio. That's where the studio is. And for our sessions, we have an in-house hair and makeup artist that comes. So it's literally my clients just come to me and I have everything set up for them. They don't have to worry about scheduling anything extra, going to any extra places, sweating out their makeup, their hair. Like you just come to
Oh,
me and I got you.
that is super dope. So like you're like a full service photographer.
Full service.
That is super duper underrated because it is definitely a lot to go get your makeup done, go do this, go do that, and then do the pictures, and then all of the other stuff that comes with a photo shoot. I actually have a photo shoot set up soon, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I love it, but I hate it at the same time because it's a lot. So I definitely think that's a valuable thing that you're able to offer so much in one setting, and it makes you stand out
Yeah.
amongst the crowd, right?
Yeah.
So tell me about how Ignite boudoir sessions serve as a self-care for women.
So I'm gonna go into my whole spiel, and the reason being is because I feel like it is very important. One, most of my clientele are moms,
Okay.
and a lot of times we care for other people. We give a lot of ourselves to everyone else, and the last person that we pour into typically is ourselves. So
Okay.
we're basically putting ourselves on the back burner, not giving ourselves the self care that we need, not giving ourselves the love that we need, the recognition that we deserve. And with Ignite, that is one reason that I include hair and makeup, because I want it to be easy. I don't want you having to pour into yourself to cost you more time. I don't want it to cost you more money because gas, you're going to be traveling here, there, and everywhere. I
Yes.
want it to be super easy. And that basically, I don't know if you're one of the ladies, because I used to be like this, where if it takes a lot of work or homework just for me to pour into myself, I get to the point I'm like, I don't even want to do this because I have to do this, and this.
We always have something to do. We always have a decision
Yes.
to make. I One day I was like, dang, life is really a whole bunch of decisions. And if I have to make one or more unnecessary decision, leave me out of it,
Yep.
okay? Because I mean, there are days where I just am like, I don't know. My husband will ask me a question and I'm just like, I don't know. I may know the answer, but I just don't. have the
I don't want to think.
capacity.
I don't want to think about it. I just want it to
Yes.
happen. And
Yes.
literally, because we are making decisions for everyone else, including our family, and making sure that the kids have everything they got and what time we going to get there and what clothes you going to wear, all of that, I want the decision of I'm able to give to myself and pour into myself to be easy. I want it to be
Yes.
easy. And that is a luxury to be able to go anywhere and have someone basically hold your hand throughout the process of getting what you want. Like, I want to feel sexy. I want to feel good. I want to feel like my sensual side has been ignited. Like, all of
Right.
that can be a form of self care. But at the same time, is it truly self care, or is it I have to make all these decisions today
Right.
and I'm tired and I don't want to think. I came here not to think. You know what I mean? So that's
Yeah.
why Ignite is different from other boudoir sessions, because you literally have me to make decisions for you if that is what you choose.
Yes. That is so amazing. I think that many women, mothers especially, would be able to gain a lot just from the experience because, like you said, we make so many different decisions, and then the when we do make the decision to take care of ourselves, then we have it's almost like extra work. It's homework, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I went to go get my nails done. Well, now I got to pick out what color I want them. I got to pick out what shape I want them. I have to pick out, what type of manicure I want. All those things. And I know it seems very simple, but when you are the source of everyone else's questions and concerns, it is not simple anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's why some people generally fall into like a routine. They fall into like, okay, I'm gonna get the same thing all the time every day. I'm gonna do the same stuff because it makes life a lot easier. Um, and the ability to be able to do something like take sexy pictures, and you're already probably contemplating whether you want to do that or not.
Mm-hmm.
Just knowing that it's going to be an easy process is like icing on the cake. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely love this. So I see that you're creating a space for women to fully embody themselves, and I just want to understand, like, how does that work? Like, I know you come, you take pictures, and you make people feel sexy, but like, what are some things that would go into that someone wouldn't necessarily realize? Because some people just think, oh, they just taking pictures. That's all it is. You know.
So for my process, it's almost like I'm chatting with a girlfriend.
Okay.
So from the discovery call, I get to know them. I get to know what their needs are, their concerns are, what they may be hesitant on. And then
Okay.
after they actually book, we do the styling consultation, which is really like the foundation, the blueprint, everything that will go into that photo session. And during that time, we talk about mainly how to make them look good. And I make it
Okay.
fun, but I'm going to break it down. For this, it's basically me asking them certain questions for them to tell me what they like about their body, what they want
Okay.
to play up. For instance, if you like your butt, we're going to make your butt look good. If
Yeah.
you want your waist to look smaller, or you want to conceal cellulite, or whatever it may be, you have a birthmark you don't want to show,
Okay.
we are going to have that conversation. It's kind of like, it can be a difficult conversation for some ladies because you're opening up to me about things that you typically don't talk about to
Right.
anyone.
Right.
And it's
So that would
really
make you
like,
like the sexy photo shoot therapist.
yeah, basically, because it's like we're bringing up things that, for instance, you may have been teased about, like different things. You might have a scar from, when you were younger that's like on your face, and you want the makeup artist to conceal that.
Right.
The only way that I can serve you to the highest quality service, all of that, is if I know this ahead of time.
Okay.
And so, from someone telling me, for instance, they have cellulite, they really don't like it, they don't think they're sexy with it, I will recommend that they wear tights or some kind of like, sexy pantyhose or something like
Yeah, like
that.
some fishnets or something. We gonna distract
Yeah,
you from the cellulitis.
exactly. And it
Okay.
hides it. And depending on if you wear like sheer compression tights, it actually like kind of smooths it out. So it's all
Mm.
kinds of ways that, from my background and my experience, that I'm able to conceal, camouflage certain things that you don't like.
Mm.
And I can play up certain things that you do like, you absolutely love. Like, for instance, your waist. We can camouflage or make it look smaller or, hourglass,
Yes.
depending on lingerie, depending on
Mm-hmm.
lighting, depending on poses. So it's all of that will go into the process to give them specifically what they're looking for
Okay.
and to make sure that they feel sexy.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Who doesn't want to do that, right? I know
Yeah.
as a mom, you kind of lose that.
Yes. And
It
I'll tell
lose.
you, that's the reason that I got into boudoir. So
Really?
I had my son in 2017 and I picked up photography again in 2018. I was doing wedding photography and everything, and it was just this little, you just something that's like, you need to try boudoir. You need to try boudoir. You need to try it. And so I got some models and we did a session. And one of the models, this was her first session. So it's my
Mhm.
first time photographing boudoir, her first time modeling for it. And I
Okay.
was like, we just gonna make this work. Like, I'm not 100% sure what I'm doing. You're not 100% sure what you're doing, but we're gonna try it. And when
Okay.
I tell you, within like probably 5 or 10 minutes, she just blossomed and bloomed. I think she was 6 months postpartum. So, still fresh,
Oh yes, that's
still
real
fresh,
fresh.
still fresh.
Mm-hmm.
And she just blossomed, and it kind of like taps into that sensuality that you held before having the child. And a lot of times people say, oh, it's no longer about you after you have a child.
Whatever.
And that's the thing that a
That's the
lot of people,
problem.
that is the problem, because a lot of people accept that and say that now because I'm a mom, I have to fit into this box
Mm-hmm.
of that's outside of my sensuality, outside of me being sexy, outside of me feeling good, giving to myself and pouring into myself, not realizing that you can only be the best mom when you pour into yourself, like when you're happy.
Yes, I definitely agree. I definitely agree with that because the 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 whole idea of motherhood is pouring into other souls. And
Hmm.
so if your soul is empty, then you can teach them ABCs, you can make them dinner every night. You can do all of those things and you still will not fulfill your role as their mother spiritually. To me, I feel like being able to take care of yourself and express that sensuality and whatnot on the back end. I know that has really nothing to do with the kids, but that's how the kids get here, okay? So you know what I mean? Like they got
Hmm.
here that way. What happened to it? You know?
Hmm.
And even outside of it just being a two-person interaction, I think that just being happy with yourself plays a major role in how you treat those around you.
Hmm.
How you accept things and handle situations. If you have a toddler that's driving you crazy and you're also not feeling yourself, you're not going to be able to respond to that
Hmm.
toddler very well
I
because.
will say, I forgot about the embodiment part.
Hmm.
For me, and ignite, because like you were saying, it's like a two-person kind of thing.
Hmm.
But also another issue that a lot of new moms have is they're like, oh, my husband, he's not turned on by me, or blah 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 blah. And it's just kind of like, are you turned on by you? Because I do, I believe deeply within myself that your sensuality is your responsibility. It's a one person
Yes.
thing. Because if
Preach.
you aren't turning yourself on and you look like who done it and why, and you feel like that, you're just giving off that energy to your husband, to your family, to everyone
Girl.
that's around you. And it's kind of repelling, like, oh, She got something
That
going on.
reminds me. That reminds me of that post that used to go around, or it still probably goes around, where people will be like, how y'all see me versus how my man sees me. And they'll post a picture of them looking crazy, and then they'll, for their man, but then they'll post a picture of them looking all bad and everything for Instagram and Facebook. And I just be like, y'all are backwards.
Big time. Big
What,
time.
what's
Big time.
make it make sense to me, baby, because
Listen, I was talking to my husband the other day, and we were talking about, and this all goes into embodiment.
mm-hmm.
Because if I feel sexy, I'm gonna look sexy. It like
Yes.
whatever is on the inside is gonna come to the external.
Yes.
Period. So
You
that's why
make
it's
the clothing.
important.
You make, yes.
It's important to fully embody yourself in that moment for your boudoir session. But
Right.
I was telling my husband, when you're younger, you getting all cute and whatnot, and whomever you're getting cute for. Some girls say they're getting cute to get compliments from other girls. Some girls are getting cute for, to find a husband and stuff. But I
Yep.
was like, what an honor it is for me. I'm a stay-at-home mom during the week. On the
Mm-hmm.
weekends, I'm the boudoir photographer. But
Period.
what an honor it is for me to be able to dress up, put on my makeups, wear my pearls in the kitchen, and show up for my husband as my best self
Yes.
in a respectful manner for
I love it.
him, because he's the one that we chose each other,
Yes.
versus I'm getting cute for whomever is on the interwebs that I don't know, don't really, they may
She
not
said the
have respect
interweb.
for me. You know what I mean? So
Yes.
I'm completely there with you. Like, I'm
Yes.
gonna look good. Like,
Yes.
I don't care if I'm just making breakfast.
Yes, come on now. We all watch those movies and see those cute posts of the girl walking down her staircase with her sexy lingerie on, and we all talk about how we want that and how we want to
Yes.
experience that. But you have to create that. You have to
Yes.
create that for yourself and for your life, I feel like a lot of times it's just to people. I think people see things and they think that it's unobtainable, or they can't achieve that based upon whatever reason. And I just find it very interesting that we can see it right in front of us, an
Mm-hmm.
example, and still not create it for ourselves. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Oh, completely.
Because anything that you can visualize, I'm a manifestation coach. So anything that you can visualize, you can create, you can see, you can achieve. And that's the whole point of visualization.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it just doesn't really make any sense. But with that being said, sometimes people will use the excuse that, like I'm like you. I'm pretty much a stay-at-home mom myself. But I work like
Always working.
crazy. Always working, right? And a lot of times people will say, like, well, you can do that because you don't work a traditional job, or you don't do this or that or whatever. So can we enlighten them on that?
Girl, I don't. This is going to be off topic, but at the same time, it's very much so manifestation.
Mm-hmm.
When I was in college,
Mm-hmm.
my dad introduced me to this book. It was Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill.
Okay.
And a lot of that book is not necessarily about money, but it's basically about visualizing what you want and having that deep desire that it is going to be mine. This
Yes.
is my life mission.
Yes.
And so from that, I unconsciously at the time, I thought
Yes.
I was manifesting my degree, which I did
Say
get.
unconsciously. You know how much stuff I manifested unconsciously, sis?
Like,
So
what?
much.
So I wrote every year on my birthday. I was in college. I would write what I wanted in my husband. I
Mm-hmm.
wanted certain things. This is what I wanted. I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom.
Okay.
I wanted to retire in the islands, and our first date was going to be for breakfast.
Oh, okay. Period.
When I tell you when was that? That was November. So like a month later, maybe 3 weeks later,
Mm-hmm.
Kevin, who I had been friends with for 5 years, he ended up messaging me like, "Hey, IHOP has endless pancakes. You want to go?" First of all, he's in Kentucky. I'm in Alabama, but he made it
Okay.
happen. Secondly,
I
he
love
was
this.
telling me his parents were from the islands, and I was just like, okay, whatever. They retired to the islands. They're there right now. And I'm a stay-at-home mom. So all of this I have manifested because I simply thought like, this is what I want, like,
Mm-hmm.
period. And I was very honest with him as far as who I was, what I wanted. And he was like, yeah, my mom was a stay-at-home mom. Everything that I wanted, all had to do was write it down and believe that it was going to come. Like,
Say
and
write it down and believe in it.
with a
Okay,
pen and
it is
paper.
so simple. People make manifestation such a big deal, like such a big thing. We manifest things daily. We do it
Mm-hmm.
with or without intention. And so all it is putting that you the real thing that people must understand about anything. Like even when you go into like your photo shoot, if you think that it is going to be an uncomfortable experience, it is going to end up being that no matter how comfortable Tori makes it for you, it's not gonna be. It's you. It's what you created for the environment. But if you allow her to create a comfortable space for you, a comfortable, situation, it's going to manifest itself into that. It's all about what you will allow. If you can see it happening, it's going to happen. If you walk into it knowing that this is your intention, this is what's going to take place. And I like that, even though we're talking about boudoir sessions and stuff like that, all of these things go hand in hand into motherhood, into being a spiritually whole woman. A lot of times it's been taken away from us. They
Mm.
say, oh, that's some hoe shit.
Literally, no. Like,
um,
seriously.
right.
Seriously.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember being younger and I was just a very sensual person,
Mm-hmm.
not realizing the power in it. Um, and I fought it off a lot, especially after I became a wife and a mother. I was like, I can't do that.
Yep.
But I didn't realize that my husband was missing me because I literally turned myself on just by being sexy, like just
Yes.
period. I look in the mirror and I'm like, ooh.
Yes.
So it's like literally, it's very holistic, I guess you
Mm-hmm.
could say, with you being able to dive into that sensual part of yourself, even though it may be taboo, and
Yes.
being okay with that. Being okay with someone may not like that, or someone may think X, Y, and Z. Um, in college, I used to twerk a lot. Like I used to
They
talk about
twerk. I used to
twerking
dance,
in
girl.
class and everything. And I didn't realize at the time I was getting my sacral energy aligned, my sacral chakra, my root chakra, getting it all together for me
Mm-hmm.
to be able to manifest that which I desired. And somebody
Yes.
had asked me, am I going to teach my daughter to do that? And I'm like, we may not call it twerking, but we are definitely going to embody ourselves. And that's a
Mm-hmm.
part of it, is dancing,
Yes.
feeling your body, feeling what feels good, winding your hips, getting
Yes.
into, I can't even explain it any different, but getting into your body. Because a lot of times women want to run. We want to run. We don't want to be here. We don't want to think about this. We don't want, literally, we just want to be away, because
Mm-hmm.
sometimes we may be overstimulated from the TV being too loud. We may be overstimulated from our children touching us all day. We may
Yes.
be overstimulated from being in traffic, most of the day,
Yes.
from running this, that, and the third. So we don't want to be here. We want to be
Yeah.
left alone. We don't want to think about anything.
Mm-hmm.
And so
You
literally,
you hit it on
being
the head.
okay with being where you are
Mm-hmm.
mentally, spiritually, physically, emotionally, like let the tears happen. It's okay. Like
Mm-hmm.
fully dive into who you are and where you are, and be in your body, just
Yeah.
so that you are okay with the movements, okay with the poses, okay with me instructing you through the poses, okay with how the lingerie is laying on you. You know what I mean?
Yes. So what I would say to kind of, well, I don't know. I would like to touch on the intimidation factor.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Because we are kind of getting into that, but like when someone is thinking these things, that those prefix notions that have been placed upon us by society, our parents or religion or whatever, what do you tell them? Like how do you get them to kind of be okay with trying it out?
I really have a real conversation with them. And it may seem very, very, very simple. But the truth of the matter is, I want to know why. And
Okay.
you tell me something, you may tell me, my grandma said this was some hoe shit. My grandma didn't, she wasn't about sensuality. And I'll ask you, okay, so why? And you'll go deeper and deeper and deeper into it, of explaining to me the root of the cause that I can help you uproot.
Right.
So one of the things I plan to implement this spring, and then for the rest of all of the sessions that I have, is a meditation practice
Oh,
where we're going to have basically a journey of you seeing your younger self in a way that it's like you're basically having a conversation that it's okay. It's okay for me to be here. It's okay for me to be sexy. It's okay for me to show up the way that I am showing up. No one is going to be disappointed. No one is going to think X, Y, and Z about you. And to just have that real conversation with yourself, and then set the intention of, this is what I want my boudoir session to be. Because
right.
a lot of times we focus on what we don't want. I don't want this. I don't want this. I don't want this. Is she going to be able to make sure my neck rolls don't show, or whatever it may be? But instead of you focusing on what you don't want, because we've already addressed that during
Right.
your styling consultation. I know what I need to know. Now,
Right.
unless you didn't tell me something, we're
Yes.
not going to address it. We're not thinking about your belly hanging out, none of that.
Right.
We're thinking about what we want, the end goal.
Yes.
Um, and I really
Which
do
was
believe in that. I really do believe in that. I had my own boudoir session, and it was the Thanksgiving after, no, it was the Saturday after Thanksgiving. I
mm-hmm.
had pancakes, I had my coffee, like I had everything I wanted. And I look good. I was like, I look yummy.
Yes.
And it's because I planted that seed of, this is going to be amazing. I've already done what I needed to do to get
Yes.
here. We here. It's going to be a
Yes.
bomb. So,
Oh my gosh. I really have enjoyed this conversation with you, and you have really inspired me. And I'm sure that you inspired our audience to just embrace themselves, to be more, less self critical,
yeah.
because you have to let go of that inner critic in order to fully embrace who you are. And then you have to let go of the outside critics as well. So I want to know if you have any like words of wisdom that you would like to leave our audience with, and then we'll wrap
Definitely.
things up.
Definitely. Take the compliment. You deserve it. That is all.
Oh,
So take the compliment. Stop trying to push it back. Like, oh no, you sis, or really, like, no. Take the compliment. I don't care who it comes from. Take it and say thank you.
thank you. Period. You know, I had to learn that myself. I used to be one of those people. People always be like, "You're so pretty," or like, "You da 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 da," and I'll just be like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe you're saying that to me!" Like,
Mm-hmm.
but I've always
That's
been, I've
okay.
always been pretty. I've always been told it. I just couldn't accept it. And people don't believe me when I say that. Like they
Mm-hmm.
really don't. They really just think like pretty people just automatically walk into that. They automatically embrace it. They automatically think they're the ish.
Because it's
When
always someone telling you that you're not pretty, and a lot of times we go into that negative of 10 people said I was pretty, but this one person said I wasn't.
that one time.
And it's really you telling the universe that you don't want acknowledgement, you don't want appreciation, you don't want to be seen. And says, if somebody sees you and says that you're pretty or that you're smart or that you got it all together, like, thank you. Just say thank you.
Thank you.
Accept it.
Yes.
Like, really take that into yourself, because when you're able to say thank you, you're able to embody that even better.
It's almost like saying a shay.
Yes. And
You
so it
know,
is.
it's almost like so be it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
right? So thank you so much for that word. And I definitely look forward to working with you myself, and maybe one day having you come back on here and we can talk a little bit more in depthly about this motherhood,
Yeah.
sexuality, like getting back to your mom.
Girl, I love talking about sex and sexuality, so I'm here
Yes,
for
getting
it.
back to you after motherhood, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
motherhood will take it away. And also, I do want you to go ahead and let the viewers know how they can reach out to you, whether it be your website, whether it be your Instagram, or any other form of social media that you'd like to.
Absolutely. You can follow me at, well, you can go to my website at www.toriagermainphotography.com. photography.com. It's TORIAGERMAIN photography.com. And you can also follow me on Ignite by Toria G on Instagram. That's usually where I am making videos and stuff. So,
Ooh. Okay. So we can find some reels there.
oh yeah.
Okay,
Oh yeah.
period. Yes, I'm ready to be inspired. Well, again, thank you so much for joining me today on the Luxe Conversation. And I look forward to seeing you again. Bye.